Our next session will be the Young Global Changers Recoupling Awards. Please welcome to the stage your moderator, Declan Curry.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Young Global Changers Recoupling Awards. I'm Declan Curry, journalist and broadcaster. We are going to see 15 young people from around the world who are changing our planet in remarkable ways, who are reimagining business, reimagining social and climate action, and reimagining civic engagement. These great young innovators will tell us how they are creating a more sustainable, fairer future for us all by leading initiatives in their local communities. We're going to celebrate all of their achievements, and I know you and I are looking forward to hearing from all of them shortly. But let me now introduce my good friend and colleague, the head of the Young Global Changers Project, Ole Spies.
Thank you. Thank you, Declan. And a warm welcome from me to everyone to this Young Global Changers Recoupling Award of 2025. Today, we are celebrating young changemakers. We're not just celebrating them, recognizing their efforts, but also supporting them. And we want to celebrate their efforts in helping us align economic activities with the planet and people. My name is Ole, and I lead the Young Global Changers program here at the Global Solutions Initiative. And I'm truly excited to see so many of you here, so many familiar faces, and among them you will see 15 candidates who've traveled from all over the world. Some of them left their home country for the very first time. So can I ask everyone of the class of 2025 of the Young Global Changers to please stand up, and everyone give them a warm welcome and a round of applause. So why these awards? Well, this summit is called the Global Solutions Summit. And if you pay close attention, a lot of the panels focus on challenges. It is important to focus on these challenges, of course. We need to know the problem to get to a solution. But what we want to do here is focus on solutions on the ground that can serve as examples to help tackle these bigger challenges. Each year, we invite 15 young changemakers, but the cohort is much bigger. We have 50 to 60 changemakers joining our global community every year, and the network has grown to over 500 individuals in more than 120 different countries. And as Declan said, we have 3 categories. We will award awards tonight in the category of Reimagine Business. We're looking for startups, for entrepreneurs that do business differently, that do business in a way that puts the planet and people at the center. We have the category of Reimagine Social and Climate Action. Those are non-profit projects from around the world that help communities that are usually at the sidelines tackle the big issues that they are confronted with, and many times the young changes that we see are from those communities. And last but not least, we have the category of Reimagine Civic Engagement. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Not everybody can be a non-profit leader. But we all need to have a say in the things that are important in our lives. We need to have a say in decision-making processes on a local level, on a national level, and ideally on the global level. So tonight, we invite you to listen closely, not just to the ideas, but to the action, to the creativity, the courage, and commitment behind each of these projects. And they remind us that for change to move beyond policy papers and discussions, these changes must take root in our communities, our classrooms, our streets. And with that, I'll hand back to Declan, and I can't wait to share the stories of our 15 finalists with you.
And Ure, I think there's one important element for this celebration as well, and that is to say thank you and well done to all of our young global changers and to encourage them to keep doing the terrific work that they do. So that's the role that you and I will also perform here tonight, is to lead that celebration. We'll hear more from you and from our judges in a little while, but we will start with our first category here this evening, that of reimagine business. So let's see the category. Let's see our finalists. Take a look at this short video.
At SOS, we are driven by one core mission: to transform the challenges posed by climate change and ocean degradation into sustainable solutions. Our vision is clear: profitability and economic growth don't have to come at the expenses of people and the planet. Instead, they can be the engine to regenerate and protect ecosystems while increasing people's incomes and livelihoods.
Workers in the informal sector are not enrolled in the Nigerian pension scheme, and so they lack, social protection. Now, at My Stash, our mission is to empower workers who are in the informal sector. We empower them with financial tools and knowledge that help them to build financial resilience through regular savings. So far, we've helped over 10,000 informal workers to save over $500,000 collectively.
I'm Mark Joseph Lasasta from the Philippines, and I founded Lalakbayan Eco Ventures to prove that conservation and economic growth can work hand in hand. It's a movement where organizations don't just donate, but they immerse, connect, and take responsibility. A movement where coastal communities become stewards of our oceans and not victims of environmental decline. And this is our journey for the ocean.
My name is Esther Kimani. I'm the founder and CEO of Farmer Lifeline Technologies. I drew my inspiration having grown up on the famous slopes of the Aberdare Mountains, doing farming with my family, just like other members of the community. However, I noticed that pests and diseases destroyed most of our yields. We developed the first ever solar-powered crop pest and disease detection device that leverages artificial intelligence, machine learning, for the timely detection of the crop pests and diseases.
Menstrual poverty affects health, education, dignity, and futures. That's why we created EcoCiclo. We are a social business founded by Brazilian human scientists who believe menstrual care can drive social, environmental, and economical transformation. From the favelas of Salvador to villages in the Amazon, we are redefining business in a way that is local, scalable, and deeply human. Because menstrual health is not a privilege, it is a human right.
So that is the snapshot. Let's welcome them in person. Let's have our 5 finalists on the stage and give them a big round of applause. I should be asking you questions, but I think the applause was more important, so we let that one run. Let's start with Jacob, first of all, from Kenya. Farmer Lifeline Tech Limited is the project. Welcome to the stage. Tell me a bit more about the project, what it does.
So thank you. Our project entails using AI to help farmers detect pests and diseases in time by deploying AI devices, AI cameras that are installed in the farm that continuously scan the farm for any pest or disease and text the farmer on a simple SMS to their phone with the name of the pest or disease and the solution they should apply.
So it's a real-time alert system to the farmer to do something about it. The big story behind it is this helps food security.
Exactly, it helps in food security and alleviating extreme poverty because of the food that they would have lost to pests and diseases.
And you have some 5,000 or so farmers, customers signed up for this? That seems like a big number.
5,100 farms that already are using the robots in the farms. Of course, serving more farmers because one device is able to serve 4 to 5 farmers per device.
And your background, the idea, the inspiration for this, you're an engineer by background, yes?
Yes. So the idea was inspired by the fact that me and our founder, we grew up in a farming community and we saw how pests and diseases were destroying our crops. So we met later. I am an AI certified engineer, taking my second master's degree in IT. So we came together to create a solution not only for our community, but the global market.
Thank you very much for sharing your story with us. If you pass the microphone along now to our second finalist, and that is Mark from the Philippines, and your project is promoting sustainable eco-tourism. Tell me a bit more about that.
Yes, so basically what we do in our organization is we connect communities and organizations to nature to fund conservation, and that is through ecotourism and community-driven solutions.
And why does this matter? Why does it make a difference?
Well, because we can see and we can feel that we are having this environmental decline, and our oceans plays a critical role to that, how ocean produces a lot of oxygen, right? So, and given this anthropogenic activities that really exacerbate the impact of climate change, all the more that we need to protect our marine environment. At the same time, we can see that it's majority of the marine protected areas are being underfunded. So they really need an intervention where they can help generate economic opportunities while at the same time protecting our marine biodiversity.
And that's how it fits with the big message from Global Solutions, that you still have the important economic contribution that tourism makes in the Philippines, but we do it in a better way.
Yes, correct.
Fine, thank you. Patricia, you are our third finalist from Brazil, and it's a Brazilian women-led initiative creating biodegradable sanitary pads. Now, this is a woman-led startup. Tell me about it.
So a common sanitary pad takes 500 years to decompose, and our pad takes just 6 months. So our goal is revolutionize the way that sanitary pads are produced and distributed and generate income to women for any girl in the world continues missing school because of the lack of access to menstrual products.
And alongside the product and the use of it, and the health issues there, this also generates income and opportunities for women within the initiative as well.
Yes, I'm proud that we have impacted 17,000 women across Brazil in just 2 years.
And the issue behind all of this, it's reproductive justice, it's health access. Tell me why that matters.
So just because you have a uterus, this don't mean that you don't need to go to school or work. And this is affecting 500 million people around the globe. So we decided to change this reality with courage, and we dared to dream creating an innovative product that will change thousands of lives.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your story with us as well. We now hear from our fourth finalist, and that is Elena from SOS Biotech in the Dominican Republic. Tell us about the project, what it does.
Well, one of the things that many people don't know is that invasive seaweed are one of the biggest crises of our time, economically, environmental, and even for public health. And specifically in coastal regions like the Caribbean, they are truly affecting our region. We have developed a system that's called the Littoral Collection Module that transforms artisanal vessels into high-capacity seaweed harvesters at sea, and we employ local fishermen, providing them with formal income and many times triplicating their salaries. And then we use this seaweed as a raw material to produce different products for the market, to decarbonize the industry and reduce synthetic products. And till now, we have 3 products on the market for the agricultural sector and 4 more on our product portfolio for the biomaterials, tool, cosmetics, all of them developed for the invasive seaweed we harvest.
So there are 2 things happening here. The first is that you are helping the oceans by removing the seaweed. Why is the seaweed such a pest?
Well, first it started massively developing due to climate change, increased ocean surface temperatures, nutrient runoff, increase of CO2. And you have to imagine that we are talking about millions of tons. Exactly in the Caribbean, we are talking now about 31 million tons, almost the equivalent of all the seaweed produced in the industry around the world. They arrive to our coast, they start bulking, decomposing, and they release toxic gases. They release methane, CO2, even hydrogen sulfide. So these kill the marine life, these produce tourism losses, and even affect public health.
But it also helps farming because you can take the byproduct from
exactly.
the seaweed.
We change it and we say, okay, let's use it as a productive thing. I was talking today, I say, for nature, waste does not exist, shouldn't exist for us.
Thank you very much. And Christiana, our 5th finalist in this, our first category, and your initiative is My Stash. Tell me about that.
So My Stash is a simple digital tool that helps informal workers to save towards long-term needs like pension and emergencies.
So this is sort of a digital tool for saving, and it's useful, it's helpful, it's transformative because as well as saving, it builds up a financial record for people who may not otherwise have had it.
Yes, so one more thing that we do through the savings is that we're able to monitor that financial habits, the savings habits, and that allows us to assign credit scores to these users, and then they're able to access low-interest loans more easily, which is very important because, prior, over 40% of these users are women, many of whom prior couldn't access these low-interest loans easily. So it's very important, that particular feature.
Why is there a need for a product like this, for a service like this?
I think what's more shocking is that it's taking this long for it to exist. It's unfair that formal workers are able to plug into the pension scheme and are able to save pension easily, and then informal workers cannot do that. It's ridiculous, in fact. So it's important that that exists so that people can access this tool, be able to save, be able to do more with their savings in terms of access more financial things like stocks and other investments they can make with these savings in the future.
Looking at the presentation outside, and I invite everyone here to go and look at the boards outside which have more information. The figure that jumped out was the percentage of employment in Nigeria that is informal, 90%, really?
Yes, over 90%. It's mind-blowing that they don't have a pension scheme. That's why it's even more mind-blowing, yes.
And your background's in fintech, so that's the combination of opportunity and a tool to solve it.
Definitely, yes.
Well, thank you very much. Let's give our 5 finalists another round of applause. And you now have to stay where you are and pretend to be interested in what the judges have to say. So let's hear from Ole and from our judges as well.
Yeah, thank you, Declan. And for this, I would like to invite 2 of our judges onto the stage. That's Tatsuoka Charai, Managing Director of the Impact Hub Harare and also the member of the Global Board of Impact Hub, and also Clara Perron, Founder and Managing Director of Value for Good. Clara, maybe I'll start with you. So you had the difficult task yesterday of listening to the pitches and project presentations of these 5 candidates. And I honestly do not want to be in your shoes. Can you tell me, I mean, this is a competition in a way, there's going to be a winner, but is there one thing that maybe connected all those 5 projects for you?
In fact, there were several things, so I tried to narrow it down to just two. So I think the first thing, and I think we saw it all in the videos just now and in the Q&A afterwards, is that all of you had either a double or a triple line impact or balance with your business. So from the social side, many of you had a job creation component or were addressing some kind of SDG or reducing inequality through your business model. Then on the environmental side, many of you were in the mitigation or climate adaptation phase. So there was a lot of stuff around really addressing big problems from the climate side. And several even had circular business models, which was also really cool. And then on the economic point, all of you have a business model. So you're all having a positive bottom line on that, and hopefully we'll be able to scale your businesses. Which brings me to the second, I think, most important part, and this maybe goes into your votes for your favorite initiative or solution. We really felt that all 5 of you have proven your concept. You all have customers, you all have clients, you all have beneficiaries. All of you have viable business models, so all are worth supporting.
All right. Thank you. And I'll hand you this for a moment, and I'll take the envelope from you, because you made a decision. And I don't think we have a drum roll, but did you open this envelope? Oh, you made it difficult for me. And let's see who the winner of the Reimagine Business category is. It's Jacob Rugano, Farmer Lifeline Tech. All join for the photo. All right. Jacob. Okay. How do you feel?
It's a surprise. I honestly didn't, well, I expected it, but I honestly didn't expect it. It's such an honor to really see the company being recognized at such a stage. It shows the validation that what we are doing is worth the hard work, and it's a reminder of the lives that change every day because of our technology.
Thank you so much, Jacob. And before I let you all go, Tatsuoka, what made you select this project? What stood out for you?
Congratulations. So what stood out for us was the social impact that it has. Agriculture is an industry that we rely on heavily across the world, and the fact that you are making an impact on the farmers, smallholder farmers, also cascades into the general population. The scalability, the fact that one of the devices covers a large surface area, and also the scalability of the product. You're using technology as well. This is now the innovation side of it. The fact that he's coupling, and with your co-founder as well, coupling something that is a basic need and so practical with technology is really mind-blowing. And then also the profitability of the business. So all of those elements really were shown within that, and they're making an incredible social impact.
All right, thank you. Give it up one more time for Jacob and our judges and everyone else. Oh, one more picture. Okay. Thank you. Sure.
So our congratulations to Jacob, our first winner of the day. We had a conversation earlier today, some of you might have been present here for it, with the Cabinet Secretary for Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Businesses of the Kenyan government, who, if I remember correctly, singled out Jacob's business as one of those that's really transforming the modern Kenyan economy. So he is being noticed and celebrated at home and here at Global Solutions as well. So let's give him a further round of applause. The second category is Reimagine Social and Climate Action. So to introduce the category and to get our first glimpse of the finalists, let's watch this short video together.
Too many girls believe that staying silent is what's safest. However, silence does not make any situation better. Hi, my name is Allison Chung, and I'm the co-founder, co-author, and illustrator of Selfie Speaks Up, a children's book and parent mentor's guide to teach young girls how to respond to violence. And that's the goal of the book, to be the bridge between the child and the safe person.
Hi, my name is Adam Miller, and I am the Executive Director and co-founder of Planet Indonesia, an international nonprofit that works at conserving at-risk ecosystems. We work alongside communities to reduce socioeconomic inequalities, to create the enabling conditions where indigenous and local communities can engage in good governance of their natural resources while also improving human well-being.
Hi, my name is Shamsia Umar, and I'm a young person who dares to make a difference. This is where we are special. We are creating solutions. We train persons with disabilities in digital marketing, skills acquisition trainings, and disability tech bootcamp, leveraging technology for inclusion. We upcycle waste into accessories, turning environmental challenges into opportunities. And recently, we played a key role in developing the local adaptation plan of action for Nassau State, Nigeria, providing strategies to combat waste and flooding.
Hello, my name is Stefan Bright Sakwa, the founder of Bees and Trees Uganda. Our intervention is encouraging farmers to integrate trees on their farms, but we are not just telling them to coexist with nature. We are introducing an alternative source of livelihood in order to motivate them to do this. And this is being done through beekeeping.
In Click, we are working on two models. First is our helpline number, which is for the caregiver. So what happens when a child leaves the orphanage, the child doesn't know whom to connect, whom to get supported. So through that helpline number, the child knows that there is a network who can support them. And the second thing is our Click Tech Portal. Through our tech portal, we are trying to build a national MIS, a database that we can track and trace the caregivers. And we are providing all the opportunities to the caregivers on one platform.
So let's welcome our 5 finalists to the stage. Give them a big round of applause. You're all very welcome. Thank you for being with us in person to share your stories and talk about your projects and the impact that those projects are having. Stephen, I will start with you. Bees and Trees from Uganda. What is the project? How does it work? What does it do?
So we work in the Mount Elgon region of Uganda, where landslides have claimed over 1,000 lives just in the last decade. And deforestation for agriculture is one of the biggest drivers. So we are giving incentives to farmers to adopt agroforestry. We collaborate with companies through CSR or ESG, and we deliver beehives, we deliver coffee seedlings and trees to these farmers, and the beehives motivate them to plant bee forage species, the coffee motivates them to plant coffee shade trees, and then we don't stop there. We buy their products at a premium price, the coffee and the honey.
So this is about soil protection. This is about the importance of good soil health and the role that trees play in protecting the soil and improving the soil.
Absolutely.
Where do the bees come in?
Sorry?
Where do the bees come in? This is the bit I didn't understand.
Yeah, so we sought an idea that both contributes to the livelihoods of the farmers, but also to the environment. We know the role of bees in providing products like honey, wax, among others, but also the role to the ecosystem, also to the food system with pollination and all that. So we wanted to get a solution that helps farmers to see conservation as an opportunity and not a burden.
So this is, it works all the way along the line. It's improving the soil, improving the yield of crops, the quality of the product. it's then creating a new product that can be sold as well. So it's using sustainability to improve the economics at each stage of the chain.
Yeah.
And there's a role in this for empowering women in agriculture. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, for us, putting women and also youth at the center of our activities is very important because as young people, we know we are more open to new technologies. If you help a young person have opportunities with income, they can easily adopt new technologies like renewables, and that's how we accelerate the energy transition. And then for women, the statistics over the last 20 years are clear. Women invest over 90% of their income in families and communities. So if we want to transform communities, we need to invest in women.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you for being with us and sharing your story with us. And if you can pass the microphone to Shamsia, welcome to our conversations here on the stage. And your organization is We Are Special from Nigeria. We saw a little snippet of it in the film there. Tell me a little bit more, tell the audience more about what it does.
Okay, at We Are Special, we advocate for the rights and inclusion of persons with disabilities. Over time, persons with disabilities in Nigeria have been discriminated, including myself. So I found a way to breach the barriers through technology for inclusion. We understand that plastic waste hinders accessibility of persons with disabilities. So we use the waste and we recycle them into accessories that can be sellable by those people who need their environment to be accessible for them.
And what is the, as far as you can judge, as far as you can see, what is the impact that you're having? How is it changing lives?
Okay, for one, in schools that we train the students in technology, the schools are not inclusive in terms that technology or computer sciences are being taught in paper rather than practice. So for us now, we teach them how they can see that technology can be used and it exists. Because surprisingly, if you go to the schools, they do not have any interface with computers. Some of them do not even know how to on them, right? And then we teach them in terms of graphic design, web design, so that they can make these flyers and be tech-savvy people and, advertise their businesses and sell out to a larger community. Yeah.
And just looking at some of the numbers behind this, it's clear that there is a need for a project such as yours. On the board outside, the figure said that there are 25 million people who live with disability in Nigeria. Your project helps many people, but it could help many more.
Okay, yeah, so about the data, it's now 26 million. Yeah, because it grows every day, and we understand that that's a large number. That's over 12% of the population, right? And we matter. Then we are reaching out to those who are closer. What we do is create a chain, right? Make a change in one community so that it can transfer to another. And that's why we like the persons with disabilities to be in charge, to be the voice. I'm sure you saw the LAPA that we created. And the reason why we do not want other people to create this technology for them is because we want them to create it themselves so that they can be able to scale it and teach other persons with disabilities, and the chain keeps going on.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for sharing the story with us today. We move on to Anisha, who's our third finalist here in this category. From India, the organization is Click Forum. Tell us a little bit about what it does.
Yeah, so hello everyone, first of all. So I am working for orphan youth in India. You will be amazed to know that we are having 2.3 million orphans in India. Only 5% orphans are fortunate to come into the childcare institutions. But what happened when they turn 18? They have to leave their orphanage. How do you feel if you turn 18 and your parents said you, please go, find out your space? No. How do you feel? How do you feel when you don't have the identity, you don't have the shelter? You are living in a country where your rights are like right to shelter, right to education, right to food, right to everything. But you are not fortunate with that. So yes, I am leading with that community which is feeling like an invisible in this country. And I'm going to visible this at this platform, and it is the biggest opportunity for me to standing in front of you guys. Thank you.
And the work that you do in terms of how it helps people, it's at a very practical level. It's providing safe housing, financial assistance, education. Talk me through some of the challenges that people face and how you're helping them.
Okay. So our first challenge is finding a safe housing for ourselves. So what we are doing in Click, we are building a tech portal for the care leaver. So they register on our tech portal. So when they register on a tech portal, they will get all the opportunity that they are in the need of care. And also we are having our helpline number. So as I mentioned in the video, like if a child leave the orphanage, they doesn't know whom to connect. So now they know that they have a network, they have a family outside who is waiting for them when they're coming out. So they'll directly connect us, and then we are helping them to get a housing, to get a skill and training, and also they will get the jobs. So we are not empowering them, we are just giving them the space in the society. Yeah.
Anisha, thank you so much for telling your story, and thank you for the work that you do as well. Alison is our next finalist from Malaysia, and Sophia Speaks Up is the project, and this is one that involves the education of children and adults. Tell me about what you do.
Yes, hi, I'm Alison Chung, and Sophia Speaks Up is a children's book and pairing mentor's guide to teach young girls how to respond to sexual violence. However, we like to say our motto is 4 to forever, because you can never be too young or too old, no matter what gender you identify as, to understand and become aware of what is a safe and unsafe touch.
This is when you're talking about this issue with young children, this is something that's incredibly sensitive and is done very, very carefully. Tell me how the role that the book plays in that. The book is designed to be read by young children, is that right?
Yes, so we have the book, which was fully illustrated by me, and then the book co-written by my team and I, and we also have a pairing mentor's guide. So the book is designed at least for the child to be able to pick it up at a school library or at a hospital's library and understand by themselves. But at the back of the book, if you're a parent or a guardian or any adult in the young girl's life, you can go to a pairing mentor's guide we have that has a whole list of resources and questions a child might have about consent after reading our books. And that's how we ensure that the conversation is continued after reading our book.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your story with us, and thank you for the initiative as well. Adam Miller is our fifth finalist from Planet Indonesia, and this is about strengthening solutions for climate action and biodiversity. Give me some more detail.
Yeah, so we work to accelerate and amplify community-led conservation. So we partner with frontline communities, communities that are literally safeguarding the lungs of our planet, and we support them in 3 major areas. First is navigating the legal battle to secure rights over their ancestral lands and territories. The second is we make investments to amplify indigenous governance systems. And then the third is integrating livelihoods and helping communities advocate for themselves to receive access to basic services such as public health care and education.
And when you talk about the ecological balance, that's everything. That's forest, it's coasts, it's marine environment, it's all the things that make Indonesia beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the challenges of the system is, if we talk about this idea of decoupling and recoupling, most local communities and indigenous people don't see the world in a decoupled way. It's actually a lot of times the systems in the global north that define them as beneficiaries, when actually we are benefiting from them. Our planet would not exist without the work that they do in safeguarding the lungs of the earth. And so I think very much the communities that we partner with, they see the world in a coupled way. Human health, their trust in their neighbors, their trust in their leaders are integrated and intimately connected to the health of the environment.
Thank you very much. Let's show our appreciation for all 5 of the finalists. Let's give them all a round of applause. And it's time now to hear what the judges think. Ole, over to you.
Thank you, Declan. And this time I would like to once again invite 2 judges onto the stage. Oh, 3 judges. We have 3 here. Let's have them all up on the stage. Kontimi, who is an ambassador for the YGC program, Clara, who is a lawyer and a supporter of the program for a long time, and Gary, who is the chief economist of the Scottish government. You might wonder what the chief economist of the Scottish government is doing here, but I will explain in a minute. These are our 3 judges for this category. And I wanted to ask first Kontimi, because I found this category extremely fascinating. You do amazing work, but it's also very difficult. There are so many differences in these projects. Also, I want to basically say the similar question to you. What, for you, connects all these projects?
I think the biggest thing is probably the passion that they have when they talk about their project and in the way they implement their project. We saw that in the pitches, we saw that in the Q&As, and it made our lives as judges even more difficult picking a winner. Another thing is, I think they are the best people to solve the problems that they're solving, because most of them have faced these challenges, and they really know exactly how to navigate and create a solution that is going to fit that problem, and taking that experience and transforming it into a solution so that those that come after them wouldn't have to go through the same challenge is just powerful. So.
And Clara, can I also ask you a question?
Yes, sure.
Was there something that stood out for you when you listened to those presentations, something that you would want to share with us, anything that stayed in your memory after spending the day with the finalists?
I think Kontimi already mentioned the passion and the dedication that you all have for your projects. And I think also we tried to ask you hard questions and you were all able to answer them perfectly. So you really own your projects, you really know your projects, and I wish you all the best no matter what happens at this award ceremony. I know you'll all thrive further.
And now you too have an envelope for me. Open it once again. Ooh, suspense. And the winner is Anisha Sharma, Click Forum. Hiding the microphone. Anisha, when we talked this weekend, you told me this is the first time you ever left your home country? Yes. Okay, I hope we gave you a warm welcome here in Berlin. Do you want to say a few words?
Oh, I don't have words actually. So I'm very overwhelmed here because I am coming from a background where I don't have a family, and now I'm standing in front of you because I'm leading the family of 2,500 care leavers. And I don't know what to say, but it's just a huge moment for me to presenting my community at this stage, at this Global Solution Summit. And I'm not here for winning it, because while I'm traveling to the Berlin, I was thinking that if I don't win, I already win, because I got in. I'm in Berlin, so I already win this game. So I don't want to win this. So and I'm very thankful to all my fellows because they believe that I will be win, but I don't believe that. So yeah. Here I am. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And again, before I let you go, Gary, we invited Gary quite purposefully because he is the chief economist of Scotland, but Scotland has implemented something it's called the well-being economy. Which we find aligns very well with what we're trying to do here with our Recoupling Awards. So very briefly, maybe say what the well-being economy is and then also how that relates maybe to the project and how you pick the winner.
Okay, no, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to be here. And as you see from the quality of the finalists in this category, it was so difficult. But I'll say a little bit about wellbeing economy. So the wellbeing economy addresses the social and environmental challenges of our day. It focuses on the economy serving people and planet. And it's an operating framework for governments to bring around the challenges that we face in addressing economic, social and environmental, including nature degradation. So it's a framework and operation for government. We created an organisation called the Wellbeing Economy Governments in 2018. It currently has Scotland, Iceland, New Zealand, Finland and Canada participating within that, and Wales, sorry, my Welsh colleagues will be. And we work together collectively to support each other and look at the policies that can drive long-term change in the economy. So this category, bringing social and environmental together, it's so empowering to see that. And I think when we looked at when we looked at the projects, they're obviously at different stages. Some are really advanced, having massive impact on the ground. Some are maybe at a newer stage. So we looked at the pitch, we looked at the project, we looked at the person, the passion, and the plan for continuing. But we also looked at how we thought the recognition of the prize and being on this stage could really help that. And can we say on the social impact, I think given your care experience background, the fact that you are advocating for your community, and that connection that you're making and creating a family and friendship for people that don't have it, I think that really touched us all. And I think the technology solutions and what you're doing is so scalable. So we felt that you touched our hearts, you touched our communities, and addressing kind of social inequality, barriers, participation must go hand in hand with climate.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, thank you. One more round of applause for Anisha. Thank you.
A terrific winner from an incredibly strong field of finalists. Let's give our winner and all of the finalists in that second category another round of applause. So our third category here this evening is reimagine civic engagement. And if recent times have told us anything, it is the importance of having your voice heard, because the decisions are made by the people who are in the room. So, as before, let's introduce the category and get our first introduction to the finalists by watching this short video.
Over the years, politicians use election promises as dirty tricks to garner votes when aiming for office. Also, studies have shown that many of these election promises are either broken or swept under the radar. This is why we have built Promise Tracker NG, a data-driven digital platform that tracks and monitors promises made by elected public officials in Nigeria.
Hi, I'm Ed. I'm the National Director of Run For It. At Run For It, we believe that for the dial to be shifted on the issues that matter to young people in Australia, we need to start changing the politics and bring young people together to gain the skills they need to create a fair and just future that they and their communities deserve. At Run For It, in the next 12 months, we're going to equip a group of young changemakers and community leaders to start shaping up politics and business as usual and get involved in our democracy as voters, volunteers and candidates for election.
Imagine living in a world where your struggles remain unheard, where your voice is lost in the noise. For years, entire communities in Colombia have spoken, but no one has truly listened. With every story shared, we break barriers. With every connection made, we empower those who have been ignored for too long. And with every voice that rises, we make one thing clear: silence will no longer define us.
Growing up in a place where violence is survival and silence is safety,
these children live in a place where right and wrong lose their meaning. That's when the footpath school began. I didn't have a plan, I had a pain that refuses to settle. At footpath school, we are building a crowd that when it reaches to your locality, it reaches to your colony, you're not scared or you're not afraid of it. You're so motivated and happy that you join them in their constructive work.
I'm Thais Sishan, co-founder of Delibera Brasil and Ecosistema de Impacto, and also a researcher in political participation and social innovation. Delibera Brasil is a pioneering organization in Latin America created in 2017 to strengthen Brazilian democracy through citizens' assemblies, as known as mini-publics or citizen juries. In addition to assemblies, Delibera Brasil developed innovative programs and projects that expand citizen participation and promote qualified deliberation in various contexts, implementing partnership with local governments, academic institutions, and civil society.
Again, 5 projects that are transforming the world in which we all live. Let's welcome all 5 of our finalists to the stage. Give them a round of applause. And welcome to all of you. We are delighted that you're with us here in Berlin and that you're going to share your stories with us. Thais, we will start with you, if we may, from Brazil, strengthening democracy in Brazil through citizens' assemblies. Tell me a little more about how they work.
Sure. Thank you for the question. Actually, we bring people together. They are random but representative for the population that we work on. So we help them deliberate a solution for a complex collective problem that we have as climate action, education quality, public resources, and that on.
And what sort of impact do the assemblies have? How do they deliver that impact?
I think the first thing comes to mind is like we partnered before with local governments to make sure our recommendation will be able to happen. And then we have like a full vision of what is better for everyone who's involved. So the solution is really included and is prioritized as it should be for population.
And where did the idea for this come from? What made you take on this initiative?
That's a tough one, because first time we saw this methodology, we saw here happening in Europe actually, and we say, yeah, it should be nice to have that in Brazil. So I bring like 11 people together, they're all scientists and political scientists and for different areas as economic, and we just start doing it.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being with us to share your story of your initiative. Mohammed Sahil, you are our next finalist in this category. Welcome. And you're going to tell us about the Footpath School. We saw lots of young children in that video there taking part in activities. Tell me about your work with them, what it is that the difference you're making to their lives.
So what we're trying to achieve is like, we work with children who are living on footpaths, streets, and who are exposed to all kind of violence. And as they grow up, that kind of remain in them. For them, it's like robbing or lynching is like habit for them. So we are trying when they're still kids, we are trying to instill morality into them and trying to integrate them into the society. So as they grow up, they don't turn out to be goons or something around that, and do better for themselves. And we are also breaking for them, we are breaking the cycle of generational poverty.
And this is saying to them, showing them that there is a different path. Yes. That how difficult is it, without the work that you do, how difficult would it be for them to find that other path?
I mean, they're completely isolated from society. I mean, they do beg on streets and footpath, but they the government doesn't do anything for them because their parents are not their vote bank. So and if we or people like me were not doing the kind of work we do, there would be growing rates of crime in Delhi. I mean, still there is a lot of crime in Delhi and all over India, but still we are trying to reduce it. That's all. That's what we do.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your story with us as well. Our third finalist, Maria from Colombia, welcome to this discussion as well. You are giving voice to people that have their voice ignored. Tell me about
Yes.
that.
En Mi Voz, Mi Región, in Colombia, we try to amplify the voices of underrepresented groups that have been marginalized, and we have to connect them with solutions. We're partnership with NGOs and foundations, and also with local government entities to try to work short-term solutions and to get public policies based on the necessities of this part of communities.
And these communities, who are we? Who are the voices that don't get listened to?
Okay. Historically in Colombia, there are communities that have been underrepresented, such as Afro-Colombians, indigenous communities, victims of the conflicts, and rural population.
And in terms of how you make a difference, what are the tasks that you do? We saw there that information was being shared. That's one of the techniques.
Yes, of course. Part of our process is to guarantee or try to implement strategies for long-term solutions. So we share data with local government entities to try to get them on the floor so they understand what the necessities of these populations are.
Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for sharing the story of your initiative as well. Ed, you are our fourth finalist from Australia. The organisation is Run For It. We saw a little of what it does. What's the issue here? Is it that younger people just don't get listened to, or is it that the big issues are going to affect them more than people my age?
It's both, I guess. Young people aren't represented in our parliament, so their issues aren't discussed, or when they are, they're not discussed with the intergenerational frame that is needed. And at so many like local government levels and state level governments, there's no youth representation, and then there's no voice on issues like childcare centres and swimming pools and libraries and things that are really important to young people.
But is this because, are young people not part of the conversation because they don't take part, or are they trying to take part and they're just not being listened to?
Again, it's a bit of both. I think that a lot of young people look at politics and they see it as pretty antagonistic, they see it as unrepresentative of them, and that means that they don't want to participate. That's initially a turn-off for them, but there are also structural barriers. So when young people want to go and try and participate in politics, it costs a lot of money, or there are systems that are designed to exclude young people.
And your work it's in Australia, which is a mature, well-established democracy. You might wonder why a project like yours is needed in a mature democracy like Australia.
Yeah, Australia is a mature and quite a stable democracy as well, but we have really poor representation of young people. In our most recent parliament, before Saturday, out of 227 of the MPs in our parliament, only 3 were under 35.
Thank you very much. Abiola, you are our fifth finalist in this discussion. Welcome to our stage. The project is Promise Tracker. It works in Nigeria. Tell me a little more about what it does.
Okay, so what Promise Tracker does is it serves as a social barometer for citizens to use to hold their elected public officials accountable. So it's a tool that allows citizens to drive change. It's a tool that allows journalists to use to drive solution journalism. It's also a tool for civil society organizations to see promises that have been broken and also bring them towards advocacy and also to drive accountability within communities that these politicians represent.
So at the heart of this project is knowledge and information, collecting that knowledge and making sure that it is shared with people.
Definitely. And what we do is that we have a team that pour through speeches. They also look at policy documents. We also look at interviews. And we don't just take all these words. We take important promises that aligns with the socio-economic needs of the people. So we see it everywhere around the world. We are going to cut unemployment by this rate. We are going to make sure that healthcare waiting list or people get access to more healthcare. We are going to reduce illiteracy. So all these are measurable. and we try as much as possible to follow throughout the administration. So when they fail, citizens have something to make decisions, not just in elections, but to drive accountability. And also when they fail, we try as much as possible to get them on their, when they do well, we try as much as possible to get them on their toes, to do more, and make sure that citizens get dividend of democracy.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all 5 of you for telling us about the projects and the work that you do. Let's give them all a round of applause. And drum roll or not, Ole, you can tell us what the judges made of it and what decision they came to.
Yes, for this category, I would like to invite Dr. Sandra Busch-Jansa to the stage. She is the head of political education at the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung and part of the jury. And you deal with political education. That is your bread and butter. That is what you daily. In your opinion, why are projects like these that deal with civic engagement, civic education, so important in times like these?
Experience all over the world that democracy is under pressure, and we need the civic engagement to bridge the gap between regular citizens and politics, and therefore it's important to have young people like you are to encourage these people to be engaged, to raise their voice, to make them heard, and feel that they can make a difference in politics and in their especially in their local community.
All right, and you also have an envelope for me. I'll open it and see who the winner is. Abiola Durodola Promise Tracker. Steal this from you, and this is for you, Abiola. Want to share a few words with us?
I think Anisha took all the emotions from me away because it was really inspiring also listening to her. I want to appreciate the Global Solution Initiative for giving us this platform. It's very, very important. It helps our work, and it also helps us to reach more people in Nigeria. We faced deep socioeconomic issues, and bringing it to fore, holding our elected public officials accountable is very, very important. I also want to thank my team. I'm sure they're watching now, and they will also be happy in Nigeria. I want to thank them for the deep work we're doing together, and we look forward to doing more. I also want to thank my colleagues. They are doing amazing work, and I want to appreciate them for the good work they are all doing. Keep it up, guys.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. All right.
And those are the 3 awards. We've had 3 terrific winners, but from such an incredibly strong field of candidates, not just the 15 we saw today, but the whole backstory of all the other finalists and entrants that you told. I forget the exact number. How many?
We selected, I think, about 60 projects this year from over 700 applications.
And the work carries on.
The work carries on.
There will be recoupling awards next year as well.
I hope so, yes, very much so.
So the progress continues, but for this year, I'd like you to join me in giving another big round of applause to the 15 finalists that we saw on the stage today. And we are going to ask all 15 of them, yes? All
yes,
15
please.
of them back to the stage for a photograph. They will come to the stage, and while we're hobnobbing with cameras, Claudia will come back and tell everyone else what we're doing next. Claudia, back to you.
Come to me.
So these are
the people we've been talking about so much. We'll be hearing more from you. You'll be joining us for the Global Solutions Summit program tomorrow. You will also still be on the Wandelgang. Where's the camera? There you are. You will also still be on the Wandelgang presenting your projects, and everyone who has now not seen his favorite project win, please make sure that you vote in the community award that we will award tomorrow night.